After the last race, I was still one pigeon short, and today I found out what had happened to her. The last racing pigeon from the race on Monday has been reported. She's about 20 miles north of Aycliffe, the Liberation site, so she's not cleared. And that is Dark Ghoul, that's Archie's bird. She came third in the Gold Ring race last year as a young bird. So I'm going to drive up and collect her because there's nobody coming down through that way. It's a 250-mile round trip to pick up the homing pigeon that didn't come home, so to make the most of it, I'd decided to take the pigeons along with me for some much-needed training. I'd be stopping every so often to let a batch out, then continuing up the road where I'd release some more. This was my plan to try and improve my racing performance, which, let's face it, so far this year wasn't much to shout about. First, and then 6 hens there, they're going to go second, and then we've got 3 crates of cocks. They're going to go afterwards, and I'm doing this basically because I'm so far behind on the race day that I just don't think these are quite ready. They're not breaking and they're not clearing, so I didn't give them enough training tosses, I don't think, this year. Probably did the same last year, so I'm going to have to up that a little bit. I was told by a few people to say just once you start racing, that's their training, you don't need to toss them anymore, but they don't really fly very vigorously around the loft, so I don't feel like they're getting into any sort of shape. So kind of got to force it this way. I could flag the loft, but when I've done that previously, they just go and land on the neighbours' roofs, and there's nothing I can do about that. So, you lazy buggers, you're going to fly today, whether you like it or not. Right, there's the mealy. If you notice, he's missing his claw from his middle toe, but he's a lot better. He's doing a lot better, so I think he's happy with that. He's not happy with that. What am I talking about? He's lost his claw. Nobody'd be happy with that. Come in, ladies. After 4 baskets released, I was down to the final few boys. So this is the last batch of cocks to go. Go, my pretties. En route to Bishop Auckland, I drove through an area where the birds were frequently lost, and on such a fine day, the amount of fog gave some explanation as to why. I went to see a chap I'd spoken to, another fancier, Nigel, and he gave me 2 more birds, 2 more young birds. Here's the culprit. Yeah. So we've had to go all that way, 250 miles to pick you up, but in your defence, it is my fault because you weren't ready to go, were you? So she's still intact anyway, and she's still got her ETS ring on, so she's good. So yeah, I'm gonna go and have a cup of tea, I think, because it's a long time to be driving. Right, so it's another day. The race has been cancelled or postponed from Saturday. It's been put back to Sunday, so I thought I'd take the birds for another training session, seeing as they're not fit enough. If I finished work and I had enough time, I'd take the birds training. Today I'd only manage a short 12-miler because I wanted to let the birds go in groups of 3. I was hoping this would get their brains working and give them confidence to leave the main flock when they recognised the fastest way home. Would it work? Who knows, but I'm willing to give it a go because I really wanted to get off the bottom half of the results sheet. Fly quickly, little dudes. It's funny because for the last couple of weeks, barely managed to get the birds flying further than from the loft to the roof of the house. And then today they've been right up high, like super high. And they've buggered off. I know where they are. I've got some back, most of them back, but there's about 15 that are just getting higher and higher and higher. Up they went, and they were going round and round and round. And then that was like an hour and a half ago, nearly 2 hours ago, and they're just gone. So hopefully they'll be back, but it's very, very murky. It's a very cloudy day, but it's really still, so it was a good day to get them flying because they need to. They're getting on a bit. Here we are now. mucking about in their own filth. So I've got these perches all the way along, and I'm going to put dividers in them next, so that because some of them are becoming a bit dominant, so I'm going to divide those up, and that should be plenty of space, and I'll have some V perches on this side, V perches on that side, and I might eventually put the partition again in again later on in the season. But yeah, we're missing about 15. So hopefully they'll be back. I can see one or two on the roof actually. There's one on the roof there. It was soon basketing day again, and I was hoping the birds had got used to the widowhood variant method I was attempting.
Do it from the inside.
My plan is now to put the hens in with the cocks. Let the hens see the cocks. Give me a second. I'm going to turn all the bowls over. But the reason I did that was because I wanted to get the cocks dominating their own box. And I figured if I have a bowl in there, they're more likely to want to protect it. Right. So that's that. They'll all go in their boxes now and start, you know, doing the cock dance. Do like a little circle and drag the tail along. I'm not going to drag my tail along the floor. What's going to happen is I'm going to open the door and let the hens in the cock section, and they'll all go mental. I was going to send 1983 to the race tomorrow, but I found an egg. She's sat on an egg, so she's paired up with a bloody hen in the hen section. So I need to. I'm not really bothered about racing hens, but I don't really want them pairing up. I was thinking about racing hens in the later races, you know, for like the King's Cup. This week I got the NRCC membership pack, and it's much the same as it is every year, I think, or same as it was last year. However, in the back it tells us who has won previous NRCC races. You know, people are always saying like, or you don't know this, but people are always talking about how good their club is. And so I thought, oh, I wonder if I recognise any of the names. And so I looked at the King's Cup, which is the big one that I want to race eventually get to. That's Lerwick. Past winners Lerwick. I was going through them and I was thinking, actually, C.R. Brunt of Walesby, he won it in 1976. So I'm guessing it's this Walesby and not the Walesby in Lincolnshire, because I don't think they've got the distance. But there were a couple of names that I recognised. Two names that I recognised. Walton brothers. Rob Walton, 2009. He races in our club. He won it. And then the second most important, His Majesty the King George VI. He won the Lerwick 1951. That's pretty cool, isn't it? To have like your name in the same list as the King. The other guys in here, Kev Lawson, he's in here 2005 for Thurso, and John Richardson, he's in here as well several times. They're both in here a few times. Kev Lawson again there. No Dan Soames Brown though. But anyway, I thought that was quite good. That's like the best bit about the magazine, so I'll leave that down there. Right, now it's time to put in the hens with the cocks. You keep looking in the sky, because you do, you know, and you lose them. Every time you come out, you're like, oh, where are they? And we've got 10 missing. Ooh, girls, have I got a treat for you? There you go. Party time. Go on then. See, these are the yearlings up there. They're not really dominating the box other than Zoolander. He can't get a girlfriend. Nobody's interested in him. And I'd say he's arguably one of the best looking birds. He's got all like silver foxing going on, hasn't he? Like nice grey, white thing, whatever you call it. Pretty, but he's not interested. And yet, look at these two. They're yearlings. He does this look, nobody's interested. Can't get a girlfriend, so he's not had a mate. He's 2 years old. What we'll do is we'll let them do this for a little bit, and then we'll put them together. So, oh look, you're falling down. There we are. We've got another pair up here. So just lock them in their box. Just lock them in their box. Use 2 in your box. Hey, bugger, hit me in the head. 3 some down in this bottom box. So you see what he's doing there? He's dragging his tail. But I don't think he's got a box yet, so you need to get yourself a house. She's not interested. How many am I sending? 9 cocks. No, 9 hens. Because the hens are actually looking better than the cocks. When I'm picking them up, they feel like, I mean, they've been flying, loft flying plenty. We haven't had loads of training tossers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, it's definitely 9. 9 cocks in this one. 10 minutes to get there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. And what is 9 plus 8, children? 17? Is that right? I'm not going to send the mealy. I'm not going to send the mealy because although he's flying all right and there's no, obviously his wound's healed. In my experience so far, whenever I've sent pigeons that have got over an injury, like a hawk attack, hit wires or whatever it might be, or an illness, if they're flying fine, they look all right, I send them, they go, they disappear, I lose them. So this time I'm going to leave him behind and not send him, just because I don't think it's worth the risk. The weather has been absolutely glorious all day up north where they're meant to be liberating from. Because of the clouds, they've not been able to liberate, so they've come back further south to Wetherby, which is just under 60 miles. It's a training chuck basically, and they've been liberated 15 minutes ago into a very light southwesterly wind, so we'll expect them back in an hour or so. Annoyingly, we've had a bit of a disaster, and that is we've lost 10 young birds. Flew up nice and high. They were doing really, really well, flying for nearly 2 hours for the first time ever. And then I looked up and they were just darting all over the place, everywhere, randomly. And then I saw a sparrowhawk, female sparrowhawk hen, flying around. And I didn't see her, she didn't have one, but I think she spooked them enough to send them flying in all directions. And as they'd only ever really been like just a bit higher than the house before, I don't think they've really learned their surroundings. So this morning I found one, came back. Yesterday there were a couple that dropped in the evening, but we're 10 missing. And I know that we're missing at least one from the Callahans. We're missing the slate, it's the grizzle that's gone from the Callahans, the slate one that I bred, and one of the mealies. They're the first 3 that I can tell. And we're still some missing from after that, so I'm hoping that they make their way back. They weren't exactly hungry when I let them out because I wanted to get them flying a little bit more, and it seemed to do the trick by feeding them up a little bit more. But they pissed off, didn't they? And obviously got scared by the sparrowhawk and disappeared. And I thought we'd got away with it with that sparrowhawk. I thought we'd evaded the worst of it, but it didn't work. It didn't work out. So it's not the end of the world because we've got lots on lots of young birds. Phew, okay. Still got a bunch of the Callahan birds anyway. I know that. Still got the red, the black, the dark check, the blue bar. So I think it's definitely the grizzle, but there might be 1 or 2 others. I'm not sure. So hopefully they'll get phoned in and reported if they do get found. But I haven't seen any flying around today either. That was a bloody close one. Forgot to turn the clock on. I just looked down and thought, that's not on. Damn. Expecting them back in a few minutes. It turned out today would see the best trapping I'd ever had.
So
they recognise me. You're really hungry, I know you are. But it's alright, you can go and get some food any moment now. All you gotta do is guide these racers in, and you can pig out until your heart's content. Here we are. What? You champion, how did that come out of the sky? 15.19, he didn't go around at all. He came straight down. Good lad, in you go. Didn't even need you there. He was coming down like he was trying to eat me. You see that one coming then? It's pretty good. Yeah, I didn't even need the dropper. Yeah. It was a futurity bird from last year. But I was gonna, if I had to pull a bird, it would have been him. He seemed to come straight in. Here we are. Yep, gone to Allerton. Look. It's come out of the back, that one. Come on. No yelling. Oh, no need for you anymore. That one just came out from Allerton, so, or the back, so that's not so good. Come on. Come on. Yearling. All coming out the back, all coming from Allerton. For sake, so annoying. They've got to start breaking. I'm just gonna have to train them and train them and train them. Here's one coming out of the sky. Look at that. Whoa! It was miles high. Come on. They've not come from Allerton. Come on. And another one. You see these, Krenzer? When they come out from high, they tuck the wings in and dive down. That's the slate. Another one.
Despite my frustration that the birds were coming in from the wrong direction and had likely been dragged along with the flock or along with better trained birds, at least they were quicker to hit the finish line once home. And there was more good news too.
There's one flying around. And has been for the last 5 minutes, and I wonder if it's one of the young birds that went missing the other day, because she won't come in. Yeah, could well be. Come on, come on. But if you can get through that way, they can. There we go. Excellent. Another one back. Oh, so it turned out not to be a bad race in the end.
We got 4th in the club, but also we got 5th in the federation, which I'm pretty pleased about. So, and then we got another one in 12th down there, and then obviously that one at the bottom, which don't really count, I guess. But that's 1998. There we are in the Fed. How many were there? 1,472 birds, light southwest. But it wasn't a very long race because it's only from Weatherby, but still it's going in the right direction. One other thing is I had a chat with James and Kurt they've both got YouTube channels, Robertson Family Racing Pigeons and Manny Lofts on YouTube. So today we've got a bit of a three-way going on. That's on the Pigeon Racing TV channel, so if you want to go and watch that, about an hour long, so you're going to need to make yourself several cups of tea and as you sit through that, or coffee. But it's interesting, quite a light-hearted chat between us guys, seeing what the difference is between racing pigeons in the US, Australia and here in England, and they've got quite some interesting insights, so head over to that channel if you want to watch that, and don't forget to like and subscribe it, share it, because it's got like 400 subscribers at the moment. It's really, really low.